This is a weakening question and we have to criticize the conclusion. The conclusion is that the advertising has failed to benefit the firms and the firms would not have suffered economically if they had not advertised. The missing link is between all the information presented in the argument and the conclusion that the advertising failed to benefit the firms and the firms would not have suffered economically if they had not advertised. Our broad expectation from the correct answer choice is that it should suggest that the advertising may not have failed or the law firms may not have suffered economically because of the advertising efforts. Answer choice A. This answer choice talks about the calculations of advertising expenditure and says that it is expressed as a percentage of total revenue and not as a percentage of overall cost. So this piece of information related to the calculations would simply change the expression of advertising expenditure but would not change the actual expenditure and the results of the expenditure. So this answer choice does not weaken the conclusion. So let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice B. The argument talks about law firms spending 15% of their total revenue on advertising, but advertising leading to only 7% of businesses changing their law firms. So basically the argument talks about the past expenditure on advertising and the results of past advertising. So this answer choice, which talks about the future patterns, is out of scope. So let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice C. This answer choice says that figures for the field of corporate law as a whole may not apply to a particular law firm. The argument mentions that 15% of total revenue getting spent on advertising did not benefit the industry as a whole because only 7% of businesses are switching. However, if this switch of 7% of businesses, that means 7% of all clients, may not be equally distributed among all corporate firms. There may be some corporate firms who are getting a better share of these businesses who are switching than other firms. This can be best understood through an example. Let's say there are 10 law firms and all of them cater to 10 clients. So that means there are 100 clients that the industry is catering to. According to the mention of 7% of businesses changing their firms, let's say 7 businesses change their firms. If these 7 businesses go to only one particular firm, in that case, the firm will have 17 businesses as opposed to 10 businesses before the advertising. So in this case, that particular firm will have a 70% increase in its business. So in other words, this seemingly low 7% of businesses switching their law firms may not be applicable to a particular firm, and hence the conclusion that the advertising has failed or the firms suffered economically may not hold for certain firms. This answer choice exactly pinpoints this flaw in the argument and hence weakens the conclusion. A good answer choice. Let's keep this on hold. Answer choice D. This answer choice talks about the assumption that each corporate law firm is independent and not part of a group of firms. Even if this assumption is made, it does not change any facts in the argument and hence does not weaken the conclusion. So let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice E. This answer choice talks about the assumption that at any one point in time, a particular business relies only on a single law firm. Even if this assumption is made, it does not change any facts in the argument and hence does not weaken the conclusion. So let's eliminate this answer choice. C is the correct answer choice.